So we don't know much about Mary Magdalene, really. She was basically erased from history like a lot of important women, correct? But what we do know is that she is appearing heavily in the New Age movement, along with the Sophia Christ structure. Now, the Gnostics believed that Sophia and Mary Magdalene were one, so that they believed that Mary Magdalene was the reincarnation of Sophia. So this is the very difficult rabbit hole that we go down with what exactly Sophia is. And if you've never seen my content before, this is my first makeup tutorial video, but I do speak a lot about the truth regarding our galactic history and the esoteric. Mary Magdalene was very, very human, like the rest of us. But you could relate her more to our celebrities, for example. So in Babylon, there is a culture of individuals, and we call them celebrities. A lot of them have talents, maybe in singing, acting, they have certain gifts. Well, during the time of Mary Magdalene, it wasn't the same, it was more so those that were raised up were those that were like high priestesses. It was in more of like a supernatural sort of like religious context. So Mary Magdalene and Yeshua 9 were created and they were raised up as these sort of individuals that had supernatural abilities or gifts in the public eye. Mary Magdalene would have been some sort of high priestess, and she was raised in those classes, but there was a lot of distortion within that, just like there was within the oracles of Greece and other high priestess circles since the fall of Atlantis. So a lot of our celebrities are subjected, many are waking up to this, they are subjected to mind control, like MKUltra, and a lot of them are considered to be like high class. The women especially are like high class prostitutes. Very wealthy men pay lots and lots of money to sleep with them. Sex magic and the high priestesses that were that delivered knowledge and wisdom around this. But over time, this became distorted, and this is where the story with Mary Magdalene actually comes in. So in New Age, Mary Magdalene is sort of presented as this woman that had all this wisdom, and her wisdom was kept from the masses because there's this sort of patriarchal domination, and then that's why her wisdom was not included. And yes, there is truth in this, but even the wisdom that she presented is not presented within the New Age context. But if the public actually had true access to her wisdom 100% in full, it would be incredibly dangerous to the controllers of this realm. And she is exposing exactly what the controllers of this realm are. And there has been some wisdom presented. Exactly what that is, you can look at individuals who are taken out like Max Spear. But like many of our celebrities, they're exposed to the truth of what is going on here, correct? And if they try to break out of the satanic cults and the secret societies, then they are often taken out. So this was the case actually for Yeshua 9 and Mary Magdalene. And they had very deep karmic history, Yeshua 9 and Mary Magdalene, but they weren't actually twin flames. Her twin flame would have been Yeshua 12. This is why it's important to understand our true galactic history, which the New Age movement doesn't quite give you what that is, regarding the fall and all of the galactic wars. So they were deeply, deeply bound regarding the Syrian rebellion, Yeshua 9 and Mary Magdalene. And Mary Magdalene actually has history with Tiamat, and so that's where Sophia comes in. Earth's sister planet in the future, or an aspect of Tara. And when the explosion happened, it was taken in actually a part of Nibiru, which is tied to Tiamat, and where our controllers actually reside. This is the karmic tie now you see regarding Mary Magdalene, who was part of the monadic family of the original dragon queen or goddess of Tiamat. And Yeshua 9 actually had a very dysfunctional relationship. They had multiple children, and she also had a child with Yeshua 12. This child was known as Sarah, the Holy Grail. And Mary Magdalene actually, when she split off from Yeshua 9, she went to Turkey. There's much dispute around where she actually went, if it was the south of France, which she did have some time there as well. And her and Mother Mary actually both went to Turkey. And I believe they spent a large period of time there, and then something happened and they split. See, the thing is, Mary Magdalene realized that she was being used as a puppet for a certain agenda, and she wanted to speak on that, and then that is why she had to run away from her children, and she left them in the care of her mother. She was heavily targeted after she went to Turkey, basically going crazy. She was fully targeted. Because what they do with MK Ultra is they have 7 different altars that are created, and then those individuals are used for whatever agenda is needed of them. She was a high priestess, so she could perform certain miracles, and the darker entities allowed this, and they also performed their own through her and through Yeshua 9. So this gets back to karma. It all goes back to the explosion of Tara and Tiamat and the galactic wars that happened because of the fall. Now, I have a lot more details on my Patreon, and I'm still getting many others as I do my own deep dive. But what I'd like to say, how this relates to the divine feminine, women in our power, we do work through our flow state. But to function in this society as it is, you have to be a little bit more in your masculine energy, and discipline is required. So what I do is I just block out, I create a list of to do, and I block out certain times of the day, like an hour for self-care, an hour for meditation, an hour for cleaning, and then I do that whenever I feel like doing it. That
you want to learn something new, maybe it's like a foreign language, or you're working on like esoteric stuff like me, then I will do some sort of like audiobook for an hour. And then you will have to decide like how much of your day you want to commit to work. And some days I'm really committed to like how much work I want to do, so I do want to do more, but I at least try to commit to 2 hours of work a day. Also, it's been a journey of like figuring out what my self-care routine is going to look at, and it kind